Beterbiev was born in Dagestan, Russia in 1985. Following the example of his elder brothers, Artur got into wrestling. But after being introduced to Muhammad Ali's technique and Mike Tyson's spectacular demolitions, he switched to boxing. His father was opposed to his interest in fistfighting initially, but changed his mind when his son won third place at the Junior World Cup. Tragically, Beterbiev Sr. died in a car accident 5 days later. In the summer of 2006, Artur went to the European Championships as an adult. In the finale, he displayed his signature aggressive style with emphasis on power jabs to the body, followed by shots to the head and a hefty right overhand. Even with soft amateur gloves, few could withstand his onslaught. The winding jab and the deadly cross down the pipe, set up with feints, proved to be a nightmare for the light heavyweights worldwide. Taking control of space with constant pressure, Artur racked up the punch count, forcing opponents to shell up. It's no wonder that with such crushing power, where even seemingly light connections resulted in knockdowns and exceptional precision, almost no one could go the distance with him. Only in the 2007 World Championship final, the 22-year-old Beterbiev encountered resistance from Abos Atoyev, who fought back well on the counter. By the third round, the Russian puncher readjusted, quickly closing the gap with the straight right, prompting the referee to open the count. The opponent was still dangerous, and in the judges' controversial eyes, snatched a couple of crucial points late in the bout. Fighting a Chinese boxer at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Artur was hindered by excessive clinching and his shots simply not being acknowledged. With disputes in every match, the hometown guy won gold and ended his career, making Beterbiev contemplate quitting boxing as well. However, he was drawn to a rematch with Atoyev, whom he met in the World Cup finals. This time, Artur focused on hitting the liver, then placed a right uppercut that put the recipient in survival mode. In less than a minute, the Chechen light heavyweight scored 8 points, getting the ultimate revenge. 9 months later, he repeated his success. Trailing on points, Beterbiev dropped the enemy with a couple of crosses, chased him down again after the break, and solidified the advantage with a third knockdown. Thus, Artur captured the World Championship title, his biggest achievement in the amateur ranks. Additionally, their trilogy with Oleksandr Usyk is of particular interest. Undefeated as a pro, the Ukrainian has unified all the belts in the cruiserweight division and cemented his name as one of the greatest in the modern era, conquering the undisputed status at heavyweight. Back in 2007, Artur beat Alexander on points. They met again in 2011 in a new weight class for Beterbiev at 200 pounds.
President's Cup right here.
The Ukrainian technician immediately showcased his trademark bouncy footwork.
Pulov of Bulgaria, who was number 9 in the world yesterday.
Quick 1-2s.
Who retired in the 3rd round.
Slipped under the counter blows.
A rear left hand.
And made his adversary miss. Beterbiev opened the second frame by testing the core. And take a point from me, if the judges had scored it fairly, it would have been a much more interesting fight. Frustrated by bitter defeats, Beterbiev grew tired of dealing with scorekeepers and finally transitioned to professional boxing at the age of 28, a move that undoubtedly suited his style as a puncher. To kickstart his new career, he headed to Canada. The unlucky fella tasked with testing the debutante in 2013 was Christian Cruz. Back to his optimal weight class at 175 pounds, Artur launched an overhand right away.
Cruz
Added a check hook.
Round 1 is underway.
Slip countered the rival's jab.
Just started off for Beterbiev.
And began polishing his gloves with the opponent's face.
Right. Cruz impressive in his pro debut. Good body shot. Nice combinations by Beterbiev.
Allowing Cruz to work, the Russian tank intercepted his advances.
Cruz battling, but he exposes himself to a fast combination by Beterbiev.
And sat him down by the end of the round.
Cruz showboating a little bit, and he pays the price as he goes down. Beterbiev, as he was shaking his fist, complaining about a punch to the back of the head.
He survived a couple more minutes in the meat grinder after the intermission.
With a record,
and even dared to move forward.
That's a fighter here. Beautiful right hand.
The third knockdown swayed the referee to step in.
Beterbiev scoring with. Down he goes again for the third time. Is calling a halt to this.
Following the successful start of his pro boxing journey, Artur solidified it a few months later. Rayco Saunders tasted the full scope of the Chechen cuisine.
En plus de 45 combats, donc 46 combats.
Alors, belle séquence de Beterbiev. Il a aidé Saunders qui se sort des cadres, revient au centre du ring. Bonne droite, main droite, mais qui était tellement prévisible.
Already satiated by the second portion.
Ah, belle. Ouf! Chute au tapis.
He couldn't resist the host in the third either.
Allez,
Ah, oui, vraiment.
Il retient. Oh, il était.
Et deuxième chute au tapis de Saunders.
Eventually laying down to rest and digest.
Prend son temps. Et patient.
Bonne droite. La droite en ce moment.
Billy Bailey showed even less resiliency.
Du potentiel.
Et là.
Il a vraiment vu une ouverture.
Getting punished instantly for attempting the jab.
Épuisé. Bonne droite.
Incroyable. T'as vu?
Adding a couple more stoppage victories over journeyman to his resume. In his 6th appearance, Beterbiev challenged for his first minor title against a truly elite fighter. Tavoris Thunder Cloud was supposed to be a serious test. A former champion who had recently been on a streak of 24 wins. He had held the IBF title for 3.5 years.
He's a former champion. He beat you.
Losing only to the legendary Bernard Hopkins and the reigning king of the weight class, Adonis Stevenson. Fueled by Don King himself, Tavoris aimed to reclaim the top spot and mirrored the shots to the midsection. He actively threw back on the retreat.
He catches a left hand from Cloud there. And again, Beterbiev throw the right hand.
But underestimated Beterbiev's power in the clinch.
Beterbiev. And just letting that left hand go, and then a right as well, and he's got Cloud trapped here. And
From that moment on, the fight lost its competitive edge.
finishing instincts in his career so far, and he could be about to get Cloud out of here in the very first round, and he goes.
And even a timely break couldn't help the entrapped Cloud
To recover, and that is an absolutely jolting left hand from Beterbiev.
to stay upright.
In the corner, taking punches, he's trying to throw back, but to no avail, and he goes down again.
Dispelling the thundercloud
Champion, a world-class fighter in your sixth fight.
and achieving a breakthrough victory, 29-year-old Artur entered the international rankings.
Artur Beterbiev is a wrecking machine.
In December of 2014, he crossed paths with the 15-0 Jeff Page.
One begins.
The American readily jumped onto his well-oiled bike,
Or they might get shown up inside of the ring.
Fight that's going to be broadcast
surprised Artur halfway through the round,
of the investment thus far.
and gradually gained confidence.
Page Jr. Seen him do too much here in the opening frame.
That's right.
Down goes Beterbiev on a right hand.
Landing a sneaky punch in close, Page scored a flash knockdown.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying, Corey.
The awakened Beterbiev remembered his jab,
He's used to being the guy.
clocked the foe against the ropes,
A much easier way to get to Page. But if he just stands there and tries to get to him, which he's doing,
and surged forward to get payback.
Page holding on right now. He's been
Having calculated the timing of his right hand,
going back with your hands down. And down goes Page once again.
he turned the page for good with a left hook,
Page just does not look stable in there right now.
thus ending his second year in the pros. Following this outing, trainer Mark Ramsey worked closely with his protege to refine his technique and eliminate existing flaws. Fans witnessed Beterbiev 2.0 in 2015 against the Spanish gatekeeper Gabriel the Handsome Guy Campillo.
Top 10 contender.
The former champ was expected to offer some pushback, but his chin instantly felt the overwhelming pressure
Beterbiev there on the left.
and underwent additional hammering.
Feels hurt already. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. He
Hands
needs
him
to
against the
grab
ropes,
him
and down he goes.
Pitching a kiloton hook, Artur checked the towering veteran's core strength
That's the two-time Russian.
right now. Beterbiev is
and got back to facial rearrangement.
standing too straight up, and he's strictly defensive. Right, Virgil? He's just keeping his hands up. The power is on his mind too much. He has him down from walking to the
Campillo suffered a continuous bombardment for 3 rounds.
Maybe get him Beterbiev's mind and see if he can catch 4 rounds, since Beterbiev's never been past it.
Body shots here now by Beterbiev.
Growing susceptible up the middle,
That height and that length, but he's standing straight up.
which proved to be his downfall.
In trouble right here.
He is
He's in big
wobbled,
trouble.
and he got him on the
That's
chin.
it.
And down he
Campillo was literally just trying to survive and go.
Deliberately throwing with his thumb facing up, commonly known as the vertical punch, Beterbiev pierced the Spaniard's defense several times in this manner, eventually splitting it apart.
He's in big
wobbled, and he
trouble.
got him on the
That's
chin. And
A few months later, the beautifully maned 16-2 Alexander Johnson sought to maintain range with his lead hand,
who is hand-fed.
my trainer, Alex,
kept Artur honest with a check hook,
I mean, this guy has it all.
You can tell that Johnson
and introduced a heavy left hand into the mix.
Beterbiev is doing in this fight. Ooh.
In the second portion, Beterbiev seized the moment in the clinch,
George didn't sit down because he was too big.
He might not be able to get back up.
now closing the distance with authority. Softening up his foe with straights to the body,
Be ready to weather the storm. You're gonna robust fight.
he would switch up top,
Loading up. He just letting him go.
This can be the Campillo knockout for Johnson. And a big shot there. Back.
Johnson appeared outclassed on the inside,
Beterbiev has now seen Johnson put both gloves up.
absorbing more damage. His matters weren't much better in the open field either,
He took this fight on short notice. And then
outstripping his opponent with a piston jab. Artur scored the first knockdown and pressed repeat later in the round.
he's out of there. And Johnson now takes a right and is up against the rope.
The resilient Johnson endured the assault,
Has good legs, but he's not using them right now. He needs to be moving.
Johnson is just
came back in the following round undeterred.
And a law degree in sports science is Beterbiev.
Until the quiet squeak of his gray matter was interrupted.
And a right hand, and he covers up, and that is it. One punch.
Allowing his counterpart to punch himself out, Artur found a home for a hook that folded the recipient.
And a right hand.
Both commentators and analysts alike wish to see Beterbiev jump the line for a title shot. His last 4 victories in 9 months, 2 of which came against former champions, propelled Artur into the top 5 of all major sanctioning bodies. However, due to disagreements with his manager, disputes between promoters, and the champions being risk-averse, Beterbiev was out for a year. The aforementioned champions were justified to avoid him, as rumors of Beterbiev's mythical power spread within the tight circle of the boxing elite. Confirmed by sparring partners in the know.
All my years of boxing, I sparred with Cal Frock, Chad Dawson, Lucian Bute, Troy Ross, like real champions.
You fought Kovalev.
I fought Kovalev.
Yeah.
They called me to go spar with him. He said, nah, you don't need that. We don't need that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. And that kind of caught me off guard because I'm like, what? What you say? They paying though. He's like, I know, but 15 years of boxing, he's never turned down no work. I'm like, I'm going to spar with him. He said, okay, just remember, I told you don't. I get out there, I see him, I'm like, oh, he don't look that big, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, got a big head, but he don't look that big, you know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about that. How you want me to, like, what you want me to do? Mark said, just do your best. I said, in my head, I'm like, oh, now I'm fucking him up. Now I'm fucking him up. The bell ring, ding dong, the bell ring. I'm like, all right, cool. So I hit it with my pump fake, did through a jab, and he came over it. Yo, it felt like, you ever get on an airplane, and you pulling off, and you like I was descending into heaven. I'm like, I'm about to meet the Lord. Oh, I'm not. I'm still on the ground. Like, I was trying to see if I was still alive. I'm like, I've never been hit that hard since I've been born. To say he hit hard is like an understatement. It's like a.
Well, then who the hell beats Artur?
Nobody. I think he had to go up to cruiserweight or heavyweight. But anybody that light heavyweight, no. Don't get me wrong. Anything can happen. It's boxing. He is a man. You know what's crazy? I'm so stupid. I was his main sparring partner for the last 5 years because I'm so arrogant when it comes to boxing. I'm like, no way. There's no way. I'm going to get him. And the last time I almost died, that was God telling me, yeah, that's the plan right there. Just stop going. That's how you going to win. Just don't get in the ring with him.
Seasoned gatekeeper DeFear Smith also shared his experience.
What are some of the camps that you've been in?
Triple G, Gene Pascal, Sakio Bika, Bernard Hopkins, Malik Scott, Caleb Truax, Eddie Chambers, Bert Cooper, Artur Beterbiev.
Who's the strongest puncher that you've ever been in?
Artur Beterbiev, hands down.
Hey, you said that fast. You've been in here with some bangers.
Artur Beterbiev, hands down. And he punches hard. That was one of the camps I wanted to be done with, because I was the only sparring partner out there, and he was knocking out everybody. I said they had to give me a bonus after that was done, and they did. That boy can punch.
Beterbiev returned to fight other contenders in the summer of 2016. Facing the lanky Olympian Ezekiel Moderna, Artur followed the textbook, cooking the body,
the taller guy to keep the stronger power shots. The other
seasoning with power jabs,
athleticism of middleweight. And I'm just wondering.
And subsequent combinations.
Beterbiev to make Moderna move to his right to close off the...
Eating up the space to position himself for a kill shot.
Undoubtedly the fight that you just referenced was the most significant of the last century. As Beterbiev comes clocking in with a right...
Showing little desire to linger in the ring with Beterbiev, Moderna made it to the bell.
Third round.
In the next round, he relied on a wild swing.
Yes, Moderna's being hurt, but he's being discouraged.
But stopped playing the hero after the 4th knockdown.
Tremendous ways to overcome, and sometimes they give in.
4th into the ring.
Sometimes
Moderna.
Half a year later, Isidro Prieto, unlike previous victims, decided to apply pressure.
The Beterbiev juggernaut, we'll see.
Beterbiev was happy to let him go.
Chechnya.
A trade of right hands saw Prieto hit the canvas.
From the south.
Ducking down, Artur uncorked a leaping hook to the head.
To get out of the way.
The champion found his groove in the next stretch.
In his 30s.
Oh, there's a left hook from Artur Beterbiev. He's starting to find
buckling his adversary.
And Anthony Yard, who's more settled and getting clipped. The legs underneath him are now wobbling.
The challenger regained his senses just in time.
That's comfortable to fight in, where we have a little bit.
Can he capitalize on this?
But got clubbed rushing in.
It's caught with the right hand coming in, and that's the danger.
He then remembered his main weapon, the check hook.
Counter left from Anthony Yard.
With a cross following not far behind.
Oh! Big right hand.
Artur reasserted his dominance as the round came to a close.
He knows that he can't afford to punch him. But here comes Beterbiev.
Yes. Beterbiev with thudding shots.
That's called experience. That's what you're seeing right now.
Nice uppercut from Artur Beterbiev and the bell.
The trademark double up cracked the defenses.
At the end of the fight.
And the surging champion added some overhands on top.
Explosive fifth round. There's a right hand. Lions in the camp stuff. This is a more serious, more...
But having received a cut, he took a strategic pause.
He's 38 years old. You can be tired tomorrow.
To then trap Yard in the phone booth.
The champion turns Yard around, lands a couple of uppercuts, a beautiful right hand.
The Brit was clearly outmatched in close quarters.
See the firefight we anticipated. Both fighters with their heart on their sleeve.
In the 8th, Artur allowed his foe to lead.
Misses, then he has to get back at Artur Beterbiev.
And that stick is coming out to play from Artur Beterbiev.
With the selfish goal of getting into point-blank range.
Nice right hand, and now Yard is hurt! Artur Beterbiev puts him on the canvas.
After the knockdown, it seemed like the referee had more desire to continue than Anthony himself.
Anthony Yard to continue. How will he deal with the onslaught from the beast? Nope, and Tunde Ajayi steps in, and Artur...
A fiery right hand up the middle broke Yard's resistance.